Welcome to Gen X Media 7, where we come at you straightforward. And today in the news, we're gonna look at Boeing threatened to break whistleblower who died by self-deletion. You guys can read in between those lines. Those lines are spread out pretty far, but let's check it out. I always had, and just like everybody else, had reservations as far as, anytime somebody allegedly deletes themselves and it's because they discharged a firearm 3 times to the back of their own head, I'm likely to find something very suspicious about that. I'm just saying. Boeing threatened to break whistleblower who, sure. Well, let's listen to some of this, see what they talking about.
It makes me want to tear up. I swear to God. There ain't no way.
Yeah, we don't need to hear that. You want advertisement? Pay Gen X Media 7, and we'll advertise all day. You hear me?
All right, more trouble brewing for Boeing amid a year full of dangerous incidents aboard its planes as lawyers for Boeing, the Boeing whistleblower who was found dead after an apparent suicide, say that the aerospace giant is responsible for their client's death. Lucas Tomlinson joins us from our nation's capital with more. Lucas.
That's right, Steve. Lawyers for the Boeing whistleblower found dead from what the coroner ruled a suicide blamed the defense giant for his death. John Barnett died from a gunshot to the head in his truck in March after he failed to show up for his second day of depositions in a lawsuit against the aerospace giant Boeing. In January, Barnett told TMZ he was concerned that Boeing was returning its 737 MAX 9 jets to the air too quickly after that incident where an Alaska Airlines jet had a door panel blown out mid-flight. Boeing CEO announced he would be resigning by the end of the year amid the company's ongoing struggles. And in the latest incident, a 73-year-old British man died from a suspected heart attack on board a Singapore Airlines flight from London to Singapore when it hit severe turbulence. Dozens of others were injured. The plane was a Boeing 777. Now, Mr. Barnett's attorneys say, quote, Mr. Barnett's last words make clear that while Boeing may not have pulled the trigger, the company is responsible for his death. Boeing has not responded to a request for comment about the assertions made by Mr. Barnett's lawyers. Steve?
All right, Lucas, thank you very much.
Well, let's read some of this article down here. And that whole thing was always suspicious to me. Like, okay, right before he was supposed to make a hearing on the whistleblower case, he conveniently, because I'm all of a sudden just this blanket of depression and I'm so sad. I just want to end it all. All of a sudden, out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm not believing that. And they got a nerve to have, Fox, I got to call you on this BS too. They got a nerve to have, this story discusses self-deletion. If you or someone you know is having thoughts of, kick rocks with that. You know what I'm saying? Stop being the ops for once, Fox. Y'all know damn well that dude didn't self-delete himself. The family of a Boeing whistleblower who died by suit last year filed a wrongful death lawsuit Wednesday accusing the aircraft giant of fostering a toxic culture and retaliating against employees. That sounds more plausible. John Barnett deleted himself in the head in his truck outside a South Carolina hotel in March 2024 after he gave deposition testimony in I lost my place. See, without the glasses, that little jerky jerk. After he gave deposition testimony in Charleston regarding his whistleblower complaint. The lawsuit accuses Boeing of fostering a deep-rooted culture of, I find it ironic they want to keep doing that, deep-rooted culture of concealing defects and safety violations, and of harassing, denigrating, and retaliating against employees who try to follow the law. These rules and regulations and Boeing's own purported processes and procedure. When John tried to do his job, Boeing management pressured him to not document defects or to not properly document the aircraft build record in order to avoid production delays, the lawsuit states. When John persisted, management embarked on a concerted campaign of harassment, abuse, and intimidation intended to discourage, discredit, and humiliate him until he would either give up or be discredited. R.I.P. Mr. Barnett, you did what you thought was right. And sounds like you was right this whole time. It's kind of strange that, a lot of these companies, they claim they want you to do your job as is instructed by when you were hired, your employee contract. This is your job. This is what you're responsible for. When you see these things, report it. If it's within your job description to fix it, then fix it. Then you have a guy who's coming out and saying, like, look, this is not good. These things needs to be addressed. This is dangerous. And instead, he's being basically blackballed. And, they're trying to influence him to, hey, you're very good at your job. We know you see certain things, but, in this situation, can you, wink, wink, can you look the other way? Because we got production numbers we need to meet. We got to do this at a certain time and this. So we can't really allow ourselves to be we can't be distracted by this. We got things to do. So you know what I'm saying, can you? Well, if you're not going to go along, certain things could happen to you. I mean, all of a sudden you could start getting a whole bunch of write-ups and you might even get suspended. I mean, remember that extra cream that you put in your coffee in the break room that, we tell employees you can only have 2 creams for your coffee, and we saw you put 3 in your cup of coffee. That technically that can be a write-up. You did it a few times, so we might be able to suspend you without pay. I mean, start small. The smarmy just. If you don't go along, we can stop looking the other way. And then it gets bigger and bigger. It's no telling how far it went. Fox News Digital reached out to Boeing for comment. I bet they didn't respond. The complaint filed in U.S. District Court in South Carolina says Barnett was passionate about his job and believed he had a moral obligation to keep the flying public safe. Thank you, Mr. Barnett. But eventually, the concerted harassment and abuse became too much. He was diagnosed with PTSD, depression, panic attacks, and anxiety stemming from his work in 2017. They made sure to put that on some kind of document and make that public just so they can say, well, if you put the tea leaves together, he was depressed, so maybe he did do it to himself. They made sure to put that out there. And it could have been something as simple as him saying, man, I'm tired of them messing with me, man. It's just getting on my nerve. And just saying that does not mean you have PTSD. It does not mean that you're depressed. It does not mean you're having panic attacks. It means you're pissed off in the workplace. You're being aggravated unnecessarily. Every day you come to work, it's like you're going out of your way to get on my nerve, and it's getting on my nerve. That does not make a man depressed. Doesn't mean he has PTSD anyway. Leave him the hell alone. Let him do his job. And you see how they just slide that stuff in there? Like, well, maybe this is why he did it. I mean, take a look at this. I mean, he said it's becoming too much. I mean, that you could say everybody that's fed up with a situation all of a sudden has PTSD and they're depressed, especially in a workplace when you have a supervisor riding you all the time. And in this situation, it seems like it started happening after his, whistleblowing, after his report that, hey, these safety concerns, we should not overlook this. Now all of a sudden you're riding him, you're on his back, and it's like, yeah, I can see how that would be very irritating, and it has nothing to do with PTSD or depression. He's pissed off that y'all messing with him. That's what it is. And I will leave a link to this article in the description box. You guys can check it out for yourself. Let me know what you think in the comment section. For example, in late October 2016, Barnett's senior manager called him a total of 19 times over an 8-hour period, according to the lawsuit. That's just ridiculous. If that's not something that was normal in his normal work day, and then all of a sudden when he makes these reports and he starts calling people out regarding safety issues with these aircraft that makes them dangerous to the public, all of a sudden you want to call them 19 times in an 8-hour period? That's harassment. If it's not normal and now all of a sudden you're doing it ironically after my report, oh yeah. A few days later, the same manager allegedly called Barnett 21 times over 8 hours, apparently telling Barnett, I'm going to push you until you break. Boy, at that point in time, it's unfortunate that Barnett probably didn't have a way to record those conversations because it was probably on a company phone. But there's probably devices he could have bought and held it up to the phone to record what was being said to him. I kind of wish he did so we can actually have that on tape, because this is not unprecedented. It's not an unprecedented thing. These things happen, and it's starting to look and sound like that's what was going on here. Boeing had threatened to break John and break him. Did it break him? So you notice how they throw that wording in there, like, oh yeah, they wanted to break him, all right, and eventually he cracked. Well, it's possible that maybe he didn't. Just not the open and shut case that they're trying to push that it is. I don't think he deleted himself at all. I think somebody else had a hand in it. I don't know that they wasn't. In an email Barnett wrote dated February 2021, he said he was trying to figure out what it would take to make himself feel whole again. I used to be a very happy-go-lucky guy that loved his job, his company, and the products they built. I had a very positive outlook on my life. Boeing had obviously destroyed my outlook on life, Barnett wrote. That's suspicious too. All of a sudden he wrote that, huh? Just before his passing, Barnett wrote a note. America, come together or die, he wrote. I pray the image that destroyed my life pay. I pray Boeing pays. Bury me face down so Boeing and their lying ass leaders can kiss my ass. Boeing whistleblower John Barnett was spied on, harassed by managers, lawsuit claims. P.S. Barnett continued, the entire system for whistleblowers protection is F up to. So I got certain words I'm changing and taking out for, YouTube guidelines and stuff like that. But you get the general gist of this, this note they're claiming he wrote. Maybe he did write it. I don't know. And portions of that note, I'm sure he was feeling that way. If, a normal day, you might call him once or not at all. And then after he decides to blow the whistle, and all of a sudden you calling him 19, 21 times a day. That's kind of odd. That makes me raise my eyebrow, people's eyebrow. Then all of a sudden, haven't been over my fear of flying that long, to tell you the truth. So we need more people like Barnett, not less. So you guys let me know what you think about this story. I, for one, I do not think he deleted himself. I think there's more to it than this. We may never get the full story, but we need to keep talking about this type of stuff that's going on, because it's very important. And if there was anything underhanded that can be traced to Mr. Barnett's, it needs to be transparency with these companies. If there's a safety issue with airplanes, we need to know about it. And the people whose job it is, like Mr. Barnett, to bring it up, address it, and fix it. I mean, who cares about the production issues? It needs to be fixed so these airplanes can be safe. That's the whole point of having these procedures in place. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all right now. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This is Gen X Media 7, and this transmission is over.